So, welcome to the Magdalene Global Collective. This is a living temple that unites hearts, lineages, and soul missions through the teachings of Mary Magdalene. It supports initiates, leaders, and seekers in embodying divine consciousness, anchoring compassion, sovereignty, sacred service, and embodied love into the earth through prayer, teaching, transmissions, and community. This is a sanctuary for divine remembrance. It grounds heaven into the earth and fosters the luminous frequencies that are guiding humanity's awakening. I am joined today by a really special guest, Eliza White Buffalo. She's a medicine woman, a medium and channel for Black Elk. And she has really embodied through her life path and her life journey. She has embodied shamanic practices and is living in this beautiful through her beautiful awakened heart, I really have to say. And I felt it like just being in your company, Eliza,
Thank
that
you.
you really have done a lot of work, and you've done a lot of work to really get to where you are today. So really to honor yourself, and I'm honoring and I'm seeing you and your journey as well, so far. And just welcome now, and I'm sure all our listeners can't wait to hear your story as well. So
Thank
you're
you very
very
much.
welcome.
Thank you. I have done a tremendous amount of work over 25 years, and I can honestly say that it's only maybe the last 5, 6 years that, I feel at peace. I feel not in control, but composed. I feel composed. I feel grateful. I feel healed. I feel happy. I'm very much at peace. And it was all worth it. But I must say that although it took me 25 years, the momentum of awakening and healing is much faster now. The frequencies come in much quicker now than they did when 20 years ago. So
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
that has just wakened up last week, and maybe in 5 years' time will be where I am, perhaps even in a year's time, perhaps even in 6 months' time. It all depends on them. There's so much at people's disposal now. That's not the right word. There's so much support and knowledge out there for people today. Whereas 25 years ago it wasn't there. In fact, 25 years ago it was me that was bringing it. The little knowledge that I had back then. And from then on, it increased and increased and increased. But now, a person waking up today has got so much knowledge there at their fingertips on the World Wide Web.
Oh yeah, I know
It's
myself.
absolutely
It's
incredible how
it's different
fast.
journey.
Yes,
Yeah.
different journeys, but everybody's journey is much, much quicker now because of the older people, let's say, because of the elders. And what we did and what I did. My journey was at the speed that was laid down by those that began in the 1980s with that
Mm.
first great convergence in the 1980s. I think it was 1987,
It was
the great
87, yeah.
convergence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of work's been done. Um, my ego has been not suppressed, but my ego has been won over and transformed. That's not to say that I don't have triggers, because I do.
Mm.
Um, because the human part of me will always have triggers.
Yeah.
But when I do get triggered, when I do spin out in a negative spin, I immediately am aware of that, and I can in seconds bring myself back into composure again. So that's what the work does for you. It doesn't
Mm.
make you superhuman. It just gives you the skills to be divine. So you mentioned Black Elk. And this is a picture of Black Elk, a painting that was done for me, for which I'm ever grateful. It's beautiful. It really captures his essence. He wasn't a chief of the Lakota people. And he was, and it says on his gravestone that he was a Chief Black Elk, but he was never a chief. But he would say, "What is a chief? A chief is a leader, and he knows himself very much as a leader. He knows himself very much as divine and sacred and sanctified. In fact, because he converted into Catholicism when he was 39 years old, and he never gave up his old ways. He just married them together with Catholicism and came up with something that he called the Two Roads Truth. And the Two Roads is the name of our work, and I'll talk about that. But he's sanctified in his own heart. In America today, a lot of people know about Black Elk. A lot of people know about the book that's written about him, Black Elk Speaks, and they know that the Catholic Church has beatified him and is in the process of canonizing him as a saint. But Black Elk doesn't see any merit in that. He doesn't see any credit in that. He doesn't see any honor in that. The honor and the merit and the credit that he sees is how he treats other people and how other people treat him, and how I treat other people and how they treat me. How sanctified we are in our divine hearts, just as everyone is sanctified in their highest selves in their divine heart, and how we express that in the world, how we bring that into the world. That's where Black Elk sees the merit and the credit and the honor of his work, and now not my work but our work. I don't talk about I when I talk about my work, Lisa Marie. I talk about we, Black Elk and I, because we're twin flames, you see.
Oh, beautiful.
And I think most of your viewers will know what that means, that we actually are the same soul, and that we're one and the same. To him, this is his lifetime. To me, his lifetime was mine. Even though we have our individuality and we're entitled to that, we still have that twin thing going on, where that reality, where that was my lifetime. And I first woke up to it, I think, very early in life. Black Elk tells me he's been with me since infancy, since I was an infant. I used to say to him that I remembered an old man, but then he said that was your grandfather. My grandfather lived in our house, and Black Elk lived in our house, and I didn't know the difference between them because they looked very similar, you see.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's because of soul family. And soul family incarnate together again and again and again into many lifetimes. And so we do look similar to our previous lifetimes. We have the same eyes. We have similar energy. We're talking about the same things, And for me in this lifetime, Black Elk was with me as a child, and that was when I first began to be aware of the previous lifetime, which was his. And he was only 9 years old. He was born in 1863, and he was a Lakota Oglala Sioux. And he was born in 1863 in Wyoming. And he traveled most of Central America. When he was 9 years old, he had tuberculosis, and he had a near-death experience. And he was in a coma for about 12 days, but the way that he remembers it, it was 2 days in which he was in the sky, and he was having a vision, obviously. and he was in the sky, and the powers of the universe, which is, I suppose, what we might call the angels and the saints and the
Yeah.
and divine source or whatever
Yeah.
they call the powers of the universe, spoke to him and showed him a great vision. And that vision, to cut a long story short, that vision is about the now times of Earth, in which Earth is transforming and raising herself up into a new, into the fifth dimension, into a really high frequency of love compared to the patriarchal frequency of control that she's been in this last 26,000 years. So that was what the vision was about. But it wasn't only about that, Lisa Marie. It was about me. It was about my soul, our soul, and it was also about your soul and everybody that's listening right now. It's about their soul too. It's everyone. In our divine hearts, in our higher heart chakra, there's a prophecy, Black Elk would say. And this prophecy is the vision that he saw of awakening to higher frequencies, to a divine self, of healing the body, of transforming the ego self, of rising into the light of a Christ self or a divine white light. To Black Elk, when he had that vision, and even as a young man, he would say, everyone is rising into the light of the powers of the universe, the light of the universe. Whereas now he would say into the light of Christ, because he had that conversion to Christianity, and he loved Christianity, Catholicism. He just loved it. Because, you see, that wasn't the only vision that he had. He also had visions throughout his young adulthood. And those visions were of a man, a brown man from the Eastern worlds, that he realized then was Jesus,
Yeah.
of Jeshua, or Yeshua ben Joseph, as he
Yeah.
calls him.
Yeah, because when I tune into his energy there and
Yeah,
into the painting,
do
it's
you?
very much like from the beginning, I see the Christ consciousness merged with the earth. And it's like there's no separation. He has both in his heart. It's like the earth, he has the earth and he has Christ, and that's the thing about the patriarchy, and the religions is that it's all, it's all above you and you've no power yourself. Power is with the hierarchy and we're powerless, where he was in his embodied vibration, like in his reincarnated self. He's actually an aspect of Christ. That's what I can see, is that he's another reincarnation, which is beautiful. And it's such an honor like that, you know, to be guided in that way, that they came into your life so early as well, is just amazing,
Absolutely.
isn't it? Yeah.
And he is an aspect of Christ. But then so are so many people here on earth now, the people that have done the work. We are all aspects of Christ, and we're just remembering that and not allowing ourselves to be that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, he
Biggest
has,
battle, like, is the
he and I
biggest
have reached
battle,
that.
even for a lot of us, is it's when we're human. We have our human selves, we have our spiritual selves. We've ourselves separated so much. And it's like, it's like to bring it all together and to be unified in the, Homo Luminous, it's called, but it can be so hard because there's two paradigms running right now as well, and you can get caught, like we all get caught
And
sometimes as well. It's
there
the
always will
human.
be. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the human state, isn't it?
yeah,
But I'm actually really delighted that you mentioned that, about the two paradigms running all at the same
yeah.
time, because that is the basis of Black Elk's vision.
Oh,
It was a prophecy, yes, that lies in everybody's soul, that
okay.
this is possible, to
Yeah.
rise into the light of Christ. But the way that Black Elk was showing it was like two roads. He was showing
Okay.
as if looking down from the sky. He saw his village, and he saw himself lying there sick. And then he saw everybody in the village lying there sick. And there was two roads that crossed over each other, and they met in the village. And it was the center of everything. And it was sick. But you know what he really was seeing was the state of his own soul and the state of his own self, in that lifetime. And being given this opportunity to rise. And so he saw these two roads. And this is our first book together, The Two Roads.
Amazing.
All our
Amazing.
books are based on his vision, which is a prophecy that lies in everybody's heart and everybody's
Yeah.
soul.
Yeah.
It's reachable for everyone.
Yeah.
And the Four Ascents, the second book,
Oh,
when
wow.
he saw the two roads and the village lying there sick, and he was asked to heal his body and to heal the bodies of all those villagers. He then saw four ascents, like four hills that he had to climb. Does this seem familiar? This
Yeah.
climbing up the hill of Calvary and falling three times. Black Elk climbed those four hills and he fell three times. And on the
Wow.
last, on the third pinnacle, he looked across to the fourth pinnacle. Those four ascents, those four hills were four lifetimes that he would live besides his own. And on that fourth one, he looked across and he could see the glory of the divine white light, and that his village and his people, and he was going to reach that, and everything was going to be returned to them. All the people that were killed and all the buffalo and everything that was done to them would be returned. But he also saw that ascent was going to be terrible, filled with fear. And guess who had that job? Me. That was my lifetime that he saw.
Oh,
Absolutely terrible, Lisa Marie. There is no other way to describe the beginning in life that I've had. Even though I had a lovely family and they're beautiful people and they're very good people, I had a terrible lifetime.
mm.
And it pinnacled in great fear, absolute terror. And Black Elk was with me from the beginning, and he would show me the vision, and he told me what we were going to do. He told me about the two roads. He told me about the Four Ascents. He told me about my life and why it was so terrible. He told me what was possible for me to do and reach in this lifetime. And we've done it all. We've done it all. But I will hand on heart say that it was incredibly terrible, you know. But I used to think years and years ago that I was the only one that suffered this much. But I have listened to hundreds upon hundreds of people that have come to me with terrible stories, you know.
It
So
is like that, it's you're
it
born
is
into
like
the
that.
darkness because you are the light.
Absolutely.
It's the same for me in my life as well. Like up until I suppose when I was 16 is when the angels intervened. But like before that, I really, really went through the darkness as well. And like it wasn't angels I was seeing when I was 7 or 8 looking out of the bed, like
Nor
there was
me.
all this stuff to clear, in the ancestral bloodlines and everything as well. But I was actually at the end of my life where I thought no more, I actually cannot take anymore. And two angels came and they stood in front of me and they stopped me from running to that point where I was like, I can't be here anymore.
Yeah.
And when they came, then that was it. When they came, I stopped, and that's when my life started to change.
Yeah.
That's what. Well, I suppose that's when they decided I was ready as well to take on and to start to do the work.
Mhm.
I started to do the work at 18, but Yeah, it has, and it is like that. Like a lot of the time, us and the healers that come in, we are we're the black sheep, or we are born into that darkness. Like we're not always born into the light. You know, we're
It
probably the
quite a
old
young
souls.
age.
Yeah,
18
yeah,
was quite a, I mean, would that I had woken up when I was 18 years old. It would have been amazing, but it wasn't to be. But you see, I'm a different generation from you. And, you know, that generation, the people, the babies of the 60s, you know,
mhm,
um, we were here to show the way to your generation, and your
mm.
generation have shown the way to the generation that's coming up now. And
Yeah. You
I
see,
mean,
there's three as
they're
well.
amazing.
There's I'd probably be the indigo because I was actually born in 1987. So that was the year of the harmonic convergence.
Uh-huh.
And
Yes.
like would say when you were born, it was kind of I don't know, were you still an indigo child, but you're one of the first group, you know?
He
Like that,
always
and we
tells
came
me I
in
was
with
a
the natural
crystal
abilities as well.
child. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think it really matters, you know,
Mm,
what sort of label we put on ourselves or whatever.
yeah.
We're all of those things really aren't we, Lisa Marie, because we are all things. I mean, I within am the source of the world of this very moment and this eternal moment,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So um
Yeah. The new
I
children
don't
now,
like
though,
labels per
has he
se.
spoken about that? The new children that are coming as well. They're the
Black Elk has spoken
mm,
at length to me about the generation that's been born now since about 10 years ago. And there's so many. So there's 10-year-old children now, and the babies are still being born today. They are the intelligence of tomorrow. What today in our technology and our ability to embody kindness and compassion and love, you know, instead of fear, to overcome fear, our ability to overcome fear. Those children have that, and they will be that, and they will, when they're adults, be an incredible force of
yeah.
love, you know, and we'll be all, I mean, I'll be dead and gone. You'll be my age. You'll be coming up and you'll be, you know, talking to them and helping them to understand themselves, you know. Um, for me, there wasn't a lot of understanding in the early days had I not had Black Elk. So again, I find myself very privileged and honored and lucky to have had Black Elk from the very beginning, you know, but that was our plan. He has talked to me about the next generation and the generation of the fifth dimension and what the fifth dimension will look like. And he began talking to me about that in 2016, which is what, 10 years ago? I
Yeah.
think. No,
Yeah.
2006 it was. It's about 20 years ago. It was 2006. And I asked him what this fifth dimension would look like. And he said, before we begin to see, before we begin to really set eyes and be able to touch and experience the fifth dimension, there will be a third world war. So that's what he said. That's what it's looking like. It's not something that I'm proud of, or not something that I relish, or not something that I think, oh, good, he was right. But
Yeah.
it is something that is very possible at the moment, but in danger of being negative, I would say, and accepting that as truth and what is, I would say this is completely changeable. Still, it's we can change that experience. We do not have to experience that. Our children does not have to experience that. If we teach our children properly and we show the way, and that's all that we can do, and
Yeah.
that the next generation will not be exposed, your generation will not be exposed to that. So a lot of people believe, Lisa Marie, I don't know if you're one of them, that's all of a sudden there will be this 3 days of darkness. And after the 3 days of darkness, there will be this beautiful fifth dimension, and that we'll all just shift into that, those that have done the work. And I'm not saying I don't believe that, I do. But I also understand that this 3 days of darkness is like the Four Ascents. It's the three hills that he climbed before he could actually see the light in the horizon on the fourth ascent. And it's it's body, mind, spirit, and emotion. It's climbing up the hill of the ascent of spirit first, and being able to shift our spiritual energy.
It's like purging nearly, isn't it? It's like the darkest hour is just before the dawn.
It is. And as you're purging, you're allowing room for the light. So
but I'm hearing as well just
time,
that I'm actually hearing as well there's a lot of souls that are choosing to leave the earth right now as well, that they're done with this incarnation.
Absolutely.
And I do feel that as well, like, because even at the moment there does seem to be like a lot of couples as well that are struggling to bring in the children of the new vibration. But I have found it's like the women actually need to ascend themselves before they can come into their vibration. Do you know that kind of way? It's like there has to be a frequency match as well.
Of course, because you cannot experience peace in the world until you've experienced it in yourself first. Whatever you whatever you experience and whatever you raise up into the light of the divine white light within you, then you will see it in the world, but you will not see it until you've done it. And all you guys that are listening, I'm sure you're going to agree with me too, is that whenever you make a shift in frequency, and you feel your energy shifting, and you've released a lot of shadow stuff, and you've done that work, then suddenly you are faced with someone that is coming out with this light that you'd never seen before, because you're really being faced with your own mirror. And that's how it works. And so you climb up the Four Ascents, the spiritual, change the spiritual first, change the emotional second, change the mental, second, change the emotional next, and then change the physical. And the physical won't change until all of the other ascents have been walked, and those shifts have been made, and you've risen all those, the spiritual, the emotional, and the mental body up into the light of Christ. And then you will raise the earth, the body. But as you go along with each small shift that you make, you suddenly see that mirrored to yourself in the world. I'm sure everybody's nodding their head and smiling now, agreeing with me. We learn that pretty quickly. So we do.
Yeah.
And I always say this. I always like to say this, because I think this keeps our egos in check, because we are human and our egos can find ways of coming in that back door that we've yet to discover. When we do know that we've met ourselves in the world again, and we're mesmerized by that light, and we're proud of that light, and we're thankful and grateful that we've shifted into that light, there will always be that shadow that'll come in the back door, okay? There will always be that. But there will always be the knowing that even though we know more now, even though I am more knowledgeable now about my soul and about what is and about the universe and how energy works and all of that, there is so much more to know. Because we gotta keep seeking. We've got to keep seeking. We've got to keep rising. We've got to not let that momentum go flat. Not to allow our egos to think that now we know it all.
Yeah, and what I've always found as well is like just even watching in groups and retreats and with clients and students alike as well, is that it isn't actually all about love and light either. Is we have to look at the shadow and you have to look at what do you need to heal, and yeah, that comes up an awful lot as well, and it is to do the work. And as you do the
It's
work, and
everything.
it can be years of work, but when
Yeah.
you really do that valuable work and you really look at your own stuff and not projecting and not deflecting and not blaming others, but just looking at you yourself, like that shadow's a part of you need to love as well.
That's right.
It's like it's your wounded self, you see.
That's right.
So that's
And
the
it's it's about balance, isn't it, Lisa Marie?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, you've got to be aware of your shadow work and do your shadow work, but you've also got to be aware of the light and allow those
yeah,
shifts to take place and identify with the light. So it's always about balance the whole way up. So when Black Elk saw those
yeah,
two roads, this
yeah.
is the two road symbol that I wear. I don't know if anybody can see. It's a
Oh
cross and a
wow.
circle. And
Yeah,
inside the cross, there's a red stone of power. You can read all about this on my
yeah,
website,
yeah,
elizawhitebuffalo.com, easy to remember. And because the journey it's always about balance. And the two roads symbol actually it shows, it reveals balance. And this is the vision that Black Elk saw, the two roads surrounded by the hoop of his
yeah,
people.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
he saw the two roads. This is our first book. He saw the two roads. He climbed the Four Ascents,
Wow.
and then he rose up into the light of the divine white light and
Oh, that's
discovered
beautiful.
the innocence within. So this is why
Oh,
our third book is called The Childhood Diaries,
yeah,
because let's say the first book, this is this book is based on the vision that Black Elk had and
yeah,
my journey, the dark to light. That's self-explanatory.
yeah.
This book opens your heart. It allows you to heal. It allows you to identify with the main character whose name is Rose. That's me. And it allows you to heal. It's light encoded for your healing and for you to be able to open your heart. And then we go into the
Beautiful.
Four Ascents, which Black Elk climbed up, and we're all climbing now as part of our
Yeah.
history. Did you see that suddenly, hello everybody, the camera zoomed in on me. um, so the Four Sense is really the knowledge and the awareness, this opening and awakening to the
Yeah.
awareness of self and who we truly are as light beings, as well as human beings. And so book two opens your mind and allows you to remember so much, so many of your past lifetimes, so much of who you are in this life, what your divine purpose is. That's all there in book two. But then in book three, once you've made that ascension of the body as well as
Yeah.
spirit, mind, and emotion, you then raise the body up. You come into this, you come back to the innocence of the child within, who's already healed by now and who sees all and knows all and is absolutely completely accepting of the journey and of the purpose that's hers or his to create in this lifetime. And so the
Beautiful.
childhood diaries gives you so many more insights into self and into soul. And then the final one book is Letters from Rose,
Beautiful.
projected into the future, Lisa Marie, in which I, being Rose, being the Magdalene, of course, I call
Oh,
the Rose, you call
beautiful.
the Magdalene.
Yeah.
I, being that Rose, has passed into the spirit world and has now writing letters to her granddaughter, who is part of the whole saga of the books, Christine, the Christ.
Oh,
And
beautiful.
she's helping readers and Christine to know, look, this is what a soul group is for. This is what you're doing here on earth. This is why you're with those people. This is what it's like over here in the spirit world. This is the help that we can give you. This is your twin flame. This is how you can open that within your heart. This is how you can develop your mastery self. This is how you can return to grace in any moment that you've spun into negativity. This is how you return to grace. Grace, by the way, is also another key factor throughout the books and a key character as well, without giving too much away. These 4 books on their own is the entire journey.
Wow.
That's the journey
Beautiful.
that Black
Yeah.
Elk saw in his vision.
Beautiful.
And so that's why we're here. That's why I'm here, to follow on from his vision, to live out the prophecy that he saw. In 1978, it was 1978, Black Elk
Wow.
came through a medium. You know the way in the 70s they used to have like
Yeah.
the table would move
Seance.
and
Yeah.
everybody, like
Yeah.
seances and the moving table and all of that sort of thing. And this physical
Yeah.
mediumship where the spirits would come
Yeah.
through, and the medium's
Yeah.
voice would change, and
Yeah.
thank goodness we're not having to do that now. But in 1978, he came through a medium who was very well known at the time and who was having great success. And they say he told about the vision, and he told about his relationship with John Nyhart, the man that wrote the book about him, Black Elk
I
Speak.
think I listened to those recordings years and years and years ago.
You
Black Elk
probably did. There's a
Speaks.
lot of
I
recordings
think
about
I
it.
did, yeah. It was
Yeah.
definitely from a medium, because I was trying to make the connection earlier, but like White Buffalo woman comes in very, very strong with you
Yes.
as well. She's
Yeah.
standing behind you now.
Yeah.
And like that there, she's in white as well, but
Thank you for
she's holding
saying.
the
Yeah.
pipe. She holds the peace pipe as well,
Yeah.
she's very
Very
strong
strong
with
with
you.
them.
Yeah. So there's the masculine and the feminine.
That's right. That's right,
That's the,
balance. Uh-huh.
yeah,
Well, in
beautiful.
1978, he came through this medium, and
Yeah.
he told about his vision, and he told about John Nyhart and what the work they'd done together, and he told that they had planned to make this movie and to write more books. And
Yeah.
then he said that in the future, a white woman would come and do this work.
Oh, now, oh,
Yes.
freezing. Yeah. Yeah.
And I
That was the
actually
prophecy.
was privileged to connect. I mean, it wasn't luck. It was divinely orchestrated. I
Yeah.
connected
Yeah.
with the granddaughter of that medium, and I wrote to her many times, and she wrote back to me, and we loved it. We absolutely loved that connection. And she went to her grandmother, who was the medium in 1978, and that lady said that's who Black Elk was talking about. So for me, you can imagine that was wonderful to get that confirmation, especially at a
Yes.
time where, doubt was still a thing for me. We all have that journey to walk about with doubt
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
overcoming it. So I had that, and that was great confirmation for me. It was wonderful. So, but Lisa Marie, sorry, nothing in our lives is perchance. Nothing. It's all orchestrated.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the energy of it is orchestrated. The landmarks of it is orchestrated. I may not have written books, but I may have produced a movie, and that will come for book 2, for book 1. But
Yeah.
I may have just got online and just talked, but I'm a very good writer. And so that was the best way for me to tell these stories, and I did
It's
that.
amazing. Yeah.
We don't have to, as we live our life, there's a certain amount of a certain amount of what would be the right word? Suitability, you know, for we go down certain roads because it's suitable, because it's reachable for us, but we still tell the same stories that we're always meant to tell. We will not go past that story. And may it be a story of darkness, we'll tell that story. Or if it's a story of light, then we'll tell that story. And we'll continue to tell that same story until we raise it into the light. And that's why we keep coming back again and again and again and again. Of course, as a shaman, I would say that we don't come back again and again, and that everything is now, and time is now, and it doesn't really exist, and everything is in this absolute moment where light is expressing itself through form. But we'll not go there because we'll be here all day. We will. But I have had such, for this last 25 years since beginning to write these books, I have had such a good life, such a happy life, such a blessed life, and a peaceful life.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I am a living example of the prophecy that Black Elk told through his vision. And the
Fabulous.
symbol that I carry, the two roads symbol,
Yeah.
that's a whole
Yeah.
story in itself, how it was brought to me. But it too was spiritually orchestrated, and it carries the symbolism and the energy of that journey that we're all on. So, and I actually sell these, and of course my books on my site. So to wear this symbol, this is the one with the amethyst stone. There's three other stones: the ruby stone, garnet stone, and pink quartz stone.
Beautiful.
Yeah, rose quartz. Because of those four, I like to call them emanations, those four frequencies that's emanated from our
Yeah.
souls. Right from the moment we're born, we're emanating certain frequencies. And obviously, the more we can align with the highest of that frequency, the better. So, but those four different stones are the four different frequency categories, you could say, or cardinal frequencies of people. That there's four main types of light workers. There's the Magdalenas, there's the shamans, the rose lines, I suppose, is Magdalenas, and there's different types of light workers nowadays. There's the light workers that are the shamans like myself that have all the clairvoyance going on, all those voyances going on, the audio and the clairvoyance and clairaudience and all of those clairs going on. That can be quite a masculine energy starting off, and then it's very, very hard to balance with the feminine, but I have done it, thank goodness.
Yeah.
And then there's the light workers that are like yourself that have the clairvoyance and the clairaudience going on, and they've got that rose line of the Magdalene. They're very steeped in the divine feminine line, and they tell those kind of stories. There's the kind of light workers out there that that are very much steeped in Christ energy, and it's very masculine energy, and it's very much about the Christos, and it's all about frequency, and it's all about vibration, and they very seldom do they talk about the divine feminine, but they have their part to play as well. There's the people that say, I never really have any clairs at all. I don't see, I don't hear, I can't feel, I just know.
Yeah.
And I bet you there's loads of your listeners now and followers now that are saying, that's me. I just know, because there's so many of them. They're everywhere. and they just know. And the reason they just know is because they've done this work before. They're masters here on earth. They're here to teach about mastery. They're here to live it. And they're here to just know, to just be that light. And that the logos of the divine masculine and the love of the divine feminine, they're here to be that. And they'll be resonating with what I just said right now. They're probably typing away.
Beautiful.
So there's so many different, I can't remember how we started onto this, but there's so many different, the two road symbol, yeah. There's so many different types of light workers, and they all fall into 4 categories, and those, and it's according to what frequencies and what information they're emanating out into the world, what they're giving to the world, the message that they're giving to the world. With you, it's about the divine feminine. It's about the magic of the feminine. And that the world is a magical world, and that you are the wizard or the witch, that creates reality. So many people like that. So many people like me, shamans that talk about dimensions. We talk about dimensions. That's our language. It's no different from what you do, and it's no different from what the Christos does. And
I don't know. For me, I have all 4. So it just depends on the client, whatever I need to do. Whatever work I need to do. There's a lot of, I do a lot, I call it shamanic priestess, because I do a lot of all and to journey wherever I need to go as well. So, and I see a lot in Ireland, especially. There's a lot that they may do the angelic work and the modalities, and then they go to shamanism. And it's like, it's what their soul needs as well, the medicine they need to integrate,
That's right.
For what they need to heal as well,
Ireland needs the divine feminine. Ireland needs the rose line. Absolutely. Whenever we're finished here with our chat, I'm meeting a lady called Saffron Satara, and she's the rose line as well. I've known her since, like, oh my goodness, 20 years. And whenever I first said to her that she was the real McCoy as far as shamanism is concerned. And she has this wonderful vision, and she has done it as well, of traveling around Ireland and healing certain sites and all, but
the land work, it's beautiful.
Many people of the Rose Line. It wasn't my place, because my journey's different, but it was the place of those Magdalenas, that Mary's girls, that were the divine priestesses, like yourself, we need them. Ireland needs them very much so. Very, very much so. But don't you think, Lisa Marie, that we've actually come to a time or a stage on our global journey, our collective journey, where labels are falling away, and we don't want to use them? I mean, for one, I don't want to use them anymore, I mean, I say I'm a shaman, and in a way it's a label, but I'm just Eliza, and I'm Black Elk, and this is what we're doing. This is why we're here, and
it's beautiful. It's holding the highest vision, isn't it?
Sorry, what did you say?
I said you're just holding the highest vision.
Just
that's the most
holding
important
the highest
thing.
vision for myself, and because I mean, this goes without saying. I mean, all you guys, you know this, but we must hold the highest vision for ourselves, heal ourselves, raise ourselves into the light, and then the world will raise as a mirror of that. But the world will not change for us unless we do the work inside ourselves first.
Yeah, it's true. It's the inner lamp, isn't it? It's the inner lamp. It's the inner flame.
Black Elk has this saying that's very popular nowadays. It's quoted a lot. He said in the book about him, Black Elk speaks, he said that peace is what comes about when a man recognizes his relationship with the Creator and how that relates to the world. That's the first piece. The second piece then is the peace that's created within communities because of the individuals finding their first peace. The third piece then is the peace that comes into nations, and the fourth piece is that which comes in the world, into the global world.
Amazing.
But you cannot have
Yeah.
peace in the world until you have that first peace that is ignited within your own heart.
Yeah, it's true. It's like creating our own
Right.
timeline, because that's what we'll experience when we're in that place in ourselves. It's so true.
Exactly.
Yeah, an
Exactly.
inner is a reflection of the outer, and an outer is a reflection of the inner, isn't it? Yeah. Would you
And
like
you're
to
blessed.
offer a little meditation or a little healing or something like that
Well,
for our listeners?
that's
Would you
great
like to
because
share?
Black Elk likes to do that.
Yeah, that'd be
Well,
amazing.
let's
I
just see
would
what he's got to
gratefully
say,
receive
whether
it.
it's a meditation or whatever he's got to
Yeah.
say. I feel it's a wee bit of wisdom that he wants to say to people. Okay.
Cute.
So
Cute.
we're inviting him. Let's everybody just invite Black Elk in to be present with us in his beautiful divine white coat. And if I start to speak a little bit of his particular language, don't worry, we'll come back, you know. He
Oh,
can
that's okay.
ini hanoi hakel stiki ni kata ini iona nakali ni atia dia kata chika ina hiana kania ka klian ste kania re re at ka ni ke ini ki na ki ni na mala lit ke ste ne te kana update kana he can na katia ste at kana katia tia. And so it is that the world is beautiful and the world is risen because I have risen, because I am beautiful, because beauty is the I within itself. Beauty is the awareness of the I within. Beauty is not something that is in the future. Beauty is not something that is attained or reached through hard work. Beauty is something that is available right here and now within ourselves. So even if you're in the depths of despair, my dear heart, even if you're in the depths of despair, do not worry. Listen now to stop for a moment and be quiet. We're talking to somebody in particular here, and she knows who she is. And even though you're in the depths of despair right now and you're crying, dear heart, listen, just stop for a moment and listen. Who are you? Who are you? Ask yourself, who are you within? And yes, that part of you that no one else sees, that part of you that you've spent decades trying to get other people to see, that's the beauty of the Christ. That's the beauty that I speak of. That's the beauty of the risen one, already there within you, already there. And all that you need to do to find peace, my dear heart, is to believe in her. Believe in her. Hold fast to her. You are good enough. You are beautiful enough. You are wise enough. You are light enough. You are everything. And when you believe this and you hold fast to her, all illusion will drop away. In this time, the veils of illusion, of illusory control, are dropping like raindrops from heaven. There will be no hiding within the next 5 years. This will happen. I am not saying to you that this can happen. I am saying to you that within the next 5 years there on your earth, raindrops will drop from heaven and veils will drop from every illusion that there is in your world. Every illusion that there is in your world. Let yourself think about that for a moment. You are safe. You are safe. Salvation is within you. It is here. It is mirroring itself outside of you. And this is what Christ spoke about. This is what the Jesus figure spoke about. This is what I speak about. This is what Eliza speaks about, what Lisa Marie speaks about, what so many of you are speaking about today. This is the salvation, and it is here. It came from within you. It came from within you. And its name was I. That was its name. I. Whatever your name is, Lisa Marie. I, Lisa Marie, am the Christ. I, Lisa Marie, am the divine white light. I, Lisa Marie, am the beauty of the divine white light here on earth, of nature, of the divine feminine. And I, Lisa Marie, am good enough. I, Lisa Marie, have always been here. And now the world hears my voice. Now the world looks into my eyes. Now the world feels my heart. And this I can promise you, my dear hearts, this I can promise you within the next 5 years. The rainbow people are established. The bridge has been built. He nakana ni se kini kata le kanda I ni haki tia kate se kana kate hi mo hi se kana kate ne kate se kata la kate hi no e kata tia ma se li atana hi no ni akani skani la kate hi honti kase mi ki ti mo na kate te alaska hi nakala iste kata ni di kata la kate 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 in the here not kala the stikine takate the beauty of the divine feminine is everywhere. Let the trees speak to you. Let the rainbow show you the way. Let your feet find its footing. You will be raised up. I can promise you, you will be raised up. But your salvation has always been here. Nature, the I within, the water, the fire, the earth, the spirit, which has always been who you are, is finally seen in the world and will finally be manifested within the world. And just as you are every bit as beautiful as the flowing streams, you will be able to talk, you will be able to comfort, you will be able to give rest. And all these things, like Jesus had his 12 disciples that did his work for him, and they went out and they preached what he wanted them to say, and they talked about kindness and love and all the things that he taught. And so nature will mirror all of those things as well. Nature, the trees, the grasses, the flowers, the smiles on the children's faces, the babbling brook, the wind in the branches, the clouds that race across the sky, and the sun that shines down softly. All of these things are your disciples. They are the disciples of love. They are the disciples of the Creator. They are the apostles of who you are within. And so nature will praise and sing your song, sing your name. All these things I can promise you within the next 5 years. Hina kasika do ale katani kasti kate. Hinoki at gestia takati katmole kata kaka. He ha nakate kanasti kate. Chinahewe. Hinunakachu wahe. Hinakuchuna wahe. Yeah. Aho, and amen. And these things shall be done. These things shall be done. These things shall be done. My gratitude to you, Lisa Marie, to all of you beautiful hearts, to my dear Eliza, my gratitude. Oh, and so we're done.
Beautiful.
You had a
Just
lot to
beautiful.
say.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was so gratefully received. And oh my God, I could really feel the vibration through my heart, and I'm sure
Yeah,
for
me too. I
everyone
could feel
listening
that.
as well.
Aye.
Yeah, it's
It's
beautiful.
it was like happiness.
Yeah, it's
Felt like
joy. Yeah,
happiness. Mm.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's beautiful.
Lisa Marie, if it's okay with you, dear, before I go, I would like to tell your followers and your listeners and your friends that
Yeah,
on my website there is a web shop. In that web shop, there is an incredible amount of work that people can do to forward their journeys.
beautiful.
The main work right now is the mastery teachings, and that's
Yeah,
there. But there is also a category on that web shop called free. And these are the teachings and the courses and the meditations that has been created with Black Elk in the past that we no longer teach or work with. And they're absolutely free for anybody. So there's so much there for you to avail of. There's also a beautiful, when Black Elk was in his 20s, he became the healer like we do. Yeah, he became the healer. And he had a particular healing ceremony that he did, and with certain herbs and a bowl of water and all. These are things that were shown to him in his vision. And he healed with these things from the vision. And there's the healing ceremony is there, brought through into a kind of a video me talking and leading the people into this healing ceremony with Black Elk. And they do it at home. But when they're doing it at home, as they lie down and listen to the audio and venture into this healing ceremony, Black Elk is there with them, and so am I.
beautiful.
We
Yeah,
will be with them. We are omnipresent. We are guiding people in the spirit. You'll see that on my website too, in the end game, light embodied end game. We guide people in this from the spirit world. We travel, we bilocate to help people. We appear to them. We help them in that way. There's many different levels of frequency that we work with people depending on what they need, of course. But if you need help, whoever needs help then can go onto my website, or even just appeal to Black Elk and Eliza White Buffalo to come and help them, and we'll do that. We do it at night, we do it sometimes during the day. It all depends where my mind is at. But yeah, because if my mind is invested into mundane three-dimensional stuff, that's not happening. So it all depends where my mind is at.
yeah,
But we do that, especially for those that wear the two road symbol, which is it's almost like a connection, a bridge from us to them. But I discovered this. I started discovering this about 15 years ago when people started saying that they saw me in the street, or I came to them before they went to sleep, or they woke up in the middle of the night and I was standing beside them. And I would resonate with that at the time because I would feel myself like I had been doing something during the night, or there would be some kind of synchronicity, a confirmation that would tell me that yes, I was actually with that person. And since then, it's developed and developed and developed, of course, since I have been able to release more and more and more shadow. And of course, there's more development to go. But yeah, it's at that stage now where we are able to help people. We are able to heal them if they call on our name. We are able to help them receive insights into their own soul, into their own divine purpose, and into their own life, and to help their children as well. So don't be afraid to call on us. Don't be afraid to call on us because we're like Black Elks. Black Elk is like,
Yeah.
he's like the light of the sun.
Yeah. Yeah.
You call on him and you just feel him coming into you.
Yeah.
He's omnipresent. And,
Yeah.
most of the time he drags me along for good measure.
Yeah.
But
Beautiful.
I'm grateful to be able to do it, and I'm honored to be able to do it, and absolutely willing to do it as well.
Thank you so much, Eliza. It's just
Thank
beautiful
you.
for your kind offerings and for the healing, for everything, for the story. I'm sure it's going to help so many people today as well. It's an honor
Yeah,
and a privilege to
there's so
speak
much,
with you.
that we didn't say, but it's all just history and stuff and stories. None of
Yeah,
it
well, we,
matters.
we
What
may
matters
we
is
may
that
do another
beautiful
podcast
frequency.
another time. Yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely, I'd be willing to. But I do know that what matters is that beautiful frequency that Black Elk
yeah,
brought.
yeah, absolutely,
That's all that
absolutely.
really mattered.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, and just
And
such an honor.
that
And
lady who needed to reach inside herself for hope.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
hope you're okay, dear. I'm sure you will be.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Eliza, and we will definitely speak again. So,
I would love to.
namaste.
It was really nice to meet you, Lisa Marie.
And you too, Eliza.
You
And you
have
too.
the most
Yeah.
beautiful energy.
Oh, thank
It's
you.
very clear that you have healed your life.
Yeah.
There is
Well,
a
well, look, we see each other, we know each other, don't we? All of us
we do
healers.
now.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yes. Oh, absolutely. Yes. I didn't realize what you meant. Yes. Oh goodness, yes. We do. Uh-huh. And we trust in that. Yeah. We trust in that.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste, everybody.
Thank you.
Lovely.